If you're running an AI voice agency right now, odds are good your fulfillment looks a lot like mine used to, where you build out your agent in Vappy or Retail, you send a webhook to N8N or Make.com, all that data is collected in Airtable, you put it into a clunky dashboard for your client and just keep your fingers crossed that the webhook doesn't break. Then for billing, you collect all the information that did make it through and you send an invoice at the end of every month. I thought AI was supposed to make things easy. In this video, I'm going to show you the solution that over 600 agencies have already moved into for a system that runs itself automatically. I'm going to walk you through end to end the entire thing, from a blank Chatdash account to building your own agents, your client dashboards, and billing, all in one platform in under 30 minutes. If you're ready to move on from the Frankenstack held together with duct tape, this video is definitely for you. The problem with most agencies is just how disorganized everything is. I know, because I made that mistake myself. I'll show you over here. This is my old N8N workflow for my voice agent, right? I'm running half a dozen or more different integrations, and every single one of these is a point of failure. But not only that, it's time away from what actually matters. So you think when you're first starting out that the place to spend your time is actually on the build, right? You've developed your skills. This is where your work should be spent. But every minute you spend inside of N8N or waiting for client credentials or anything like that is time taken away from what actually matters, which is promoting your product. And this is what Chatdash fixes for us. Enough talking about it, let's do it. So when you first sign up for Chatdash, you'll be brought through a brief onboarding for your agency where you can upload your logo, your website, your email address, all that sort of stuff. And then once that's finished, you'll be brought to this page we're looking at right here, which is the main dashboard for your Chatdash account. I'm going to try and give you as much information as I can about how this platform works, but if ever you're stuck, you've got resources here that you can look through. The Demo Hub is actually particularly helpful because it offers click-through demos of each of the aspects of the Chatdash platform that you'll need to work on. So you can also book a call with the founder, which I thought was kind of cool because that doesn't often happen. Anyway, for today, we're going to go through the menu on the left, starting off with clients. You might have yourself onboarded as a client out of the box, but I just wanted to make sure that you knew how to do this end to end. So first things first, let's go new client up here and let's call this guy Steve Jobs. Member name is Steve. Member login is Jobs1. Sure. And this is the sort of thing that you would go over with your client. What would you like your login information to be when you're onboarding them? I'm just going to go create for now. And now we have our very first client. And you might be looking at it like this out of the box. Like I said, that is okay. We're going to come back to this page for sure. But for now, we're going to build an agent that we can actually assign to this client. So click here on agents and same thing, add agent. Very easy so far, right? You can either build a native agent from their templates, which are very good, or you can connect an existing external agent. If you're already on Vappy or 11 Labs or Retail, you can just tell them where your agent is and you can import that agent to your Chatdash platform. Awesome. But for today, we're going to build the native agent inside Chatdash itself. The template they have is the most common, obviously, for appointment booking. That's what most of these bots are doing at the end of the day anyway. You can also build the workflows with rigid if-then sort of agent flows from there, but we'll go with our native single prompt appointment booking agent. Click create and it's going to spin this up. So if you're all familiar with Retail, this should look super familiar. They've actually taken an entire instance of Retail and put it in Chatdash to make our lives so much easier. They've also gifted us an outbound appointment setting template, which is phenomenal. If you wanted this to be inbound, you do the thing where you copy it, put it to AI and change the context, but we've got our entire Retail account in the same place as everything else, which is great. All the same functionality as Retail too, with tools, speech settings. We can adjust this as we go. Don't worry about the tools being blacked out right now. We need to wait till it's assigned to clients before that works. But other than that, we've got everything we need right here. We can change the voice, change the model. I'm just going to keep it at the template one for now. We'll call this V1 and we will publish. Agent published successfully. Cool. Great. So we'll go back over to the left on clients. Like I said, we'd come back. We'll click the three dots here and we're going to go assign agents. We'll assign this. Okay, great. So like I said, we're going to go back over to the clients page. Click this here. We'll just click on the client and this is our client dashboard. Any client specific actions or changes we need to make will be in this section. So first things first, let's give this sucker an agent to work with. Assigned agents. Nothing here. Go assign agent and we'll just give it the one we just made. Click in that little box. Assign. Lovely. Easy as that. So from here, we can always remove the agent, customize the agent, do that sort of thing. It's loading up. This is where we can assign tools. It's got the appointment setting tools, check calendar and that sort of thing, baked right in, appointment booking on. Perfect. And then we just connect our calendar app. So I'm going to use Google, but it's got cal.com and GHL. This is actually my favorite part because if you've ever worked with clients that use Google Calendar or they're in that workspace, the OAuth is really difficult to work around sometimes. I'll show you actually, but this honestly, you can just send a link, My Cal, to your client. They sign in and there's no issue. So you're not going back and forth with all of the credential action that we normally do. Go continue, grant access, add your Google account, connection successful. So it sent a request. You can share that with your clients, and all they do is they sign in the same way that they would sign in with Google on any other platform, and then you have access to their calendar. So you go here, we go My Cal, the connection we just made. We pick which calendar. I'm gonna go My Business Calendar. You set the available hours, appointment duration, let's go 45 minutes, and we save. Fantastic. And now all of these variables are going to be popped up in our agent template as well. Again, this is for outbound calls. And there you have it. We're all connected to Google Calendar. We can check appointments. We can reschedule, cancel. We can do all of that stuff just with this one button click. Blew my mind how easy that is. So we're going to go publish, make sure it saves all those changes. Let's go V2 because that's what number we're on. If you've done this before, you know exactly how much of a headache this used to be. If you haven't, it used to require an entirely different dashboard, some Google credentials going back and forth. This took honestly days of back and forth between yourself and the client to connect their Google Workspace. And we just did it in 25 seconds. Great. So our agent has everything it needs to manage appointments, but that's not all we want it to do. We obviously want to know what was said on the call, and we want to connect our different tools to this agent. So that's where we go to post-call analysis right here, and it's connected to an AI to extract information from the call. Since this is an outbound call, we've already got the name of the client and their phone number. So we'll go to add and just ask for a summary of the call, bit of context on the appointment that they booked, and just some information that the agent on the sales side can use when they're talking to this client later. If it was an inbound agent, we want to collect the name, phone number, email address, all the important stuff like that so that we could add it to our CRM later. We would click publish, and then that sucker would be done just like this. Now we can go on to the next tab in our left-hand menu here, which is workflows. If you're familiar with Zapier, it's exactly the same. N8N, all that stuff, it's very, very easy. Go to automations, click new automation, and this is where you can start building out the different connections that you'd like. First things first, we're going to add a trigger. We're going to go customer connector for the internal operations here on ChatDash. And we'll go at the end of a call from this agent. There we go. There's our trigger. And then we can put in whatever action we want it to take, right? We can upload that information into Lead Connector, which is GHL. We can put it to HubSpot, whatever CRM you're using. You can use another outgoing webhook if you'd like. The options are endless. They've really covered everything comprehensively. You can also add a Twilio account and send a confirmation SMS, which is something that I find very, very useful. So we're just going to go with Lead Connector for now, which of course is Go High Level. We're going to go update contact because we called them. And then the nice thing about this as well is just like Google Calendar, you can add a connection and just send them the information. They can log in at any time and it connects the accounts. You don't have to go back and forth with credentials, which was a huge time sink in the past. I think it's really important to mention too that this is not just a lot easier than it would be with Make or Zapier, but those two platforms also charge per task. So every phone call, every time you update the CRM, they're charging you for it. With ChatDash has all of this included, no price per task. It's just one size fits all for every automation you have. All right, we've been talking a lot about how easy it is for an owner to run your agency through ChatDash, but the most important part is actually the client experience, which ChatDash has under control as well. If you go over here on the left, click the Clients tab, it'll give you your list of clients. We can click on this, and it'll bring you to an overview of that account. It's not just assigning phone numbers and whatnot, but it also gives you access to exactly what the client can do and what they see. So we'll go over here to Client Access, and we'll just give the admin, like our main client contact, some permission. So going over here, you can give them access to create their own workflows like we did before with Lead Connector. You can give them access to either buy or import phone numbers. I recommend just the purchase because there's a little bit of back and forth going with import, but that's a side note. You can give it access to what people are talking about, the agent settings. I would generally leave this off. Again, just a side note, but we can save it here and we'll go over and check out exactly what the client sees in the dashboard. Love it. So this is what the client sees right here with their agent. You can check out analytics, see the conversations. This is every single conversation that's happened. You can add a custom knowledge base that the agent can pull from when they're on the phone with folks, what people are talking about. There's also a really basic CRM with the leads that they're actually speaking to. This is also where we create outbound campaigns where we upload a list of names and numbers and our outbound agent starts making phone calls. So if you look over here, it's pretty straightforward. You name the campaign and when it starts, upload your list of phone numbers, and then you can select the day and time for which the calls are allowed. You can go over and go a fixed time zone, so for where you're at, or the cool thing is you can go the time zone based on their area code. Retry attempts is the amount of times they're going to call back, and the interval is how long they wait in between. But don't worry, they're not going to call in the middle of the night or anything like that. It is only between the hours that you selected here. So we create our new campaign and we start making phone calls like that. In our campaign page, it also says right now that there's no phone numbers available. That's because we haven't assigned any yet, and I'll show you how to do that in a second. I do recommend multiple numbers numbers, and ChatDash will automatically rotate them, also mitigating the chance of you being flagged as spam. So we go over here to phone numbers next, which is back in the overall dashboard. Phone numbers, we can either buy a phone number or we can assign them from our main page right here. The great part about all of this is, I'm not sure you noticed, but there's no ChatDash branding on any of these pages. There's just the logo I uploaded on my onboarding. So you've got two really cool options to white label this entire service for your agency. You can click white label and you can do global settings for every dashboard that comes up. You can pick your brand colors, add your logo. You can also do a custom domain that gets rid of the chatdash.com, where your clients would log in and see their specific dashboard. If what you've seen so far makes sense, and I'm sure it does, you can click the link in the description for a free 7-day trial, no credit card required. Speaking of credit cards, I want to show you billing next, because this is where the system really comes together. All right, so once again, they made billing super easy. They just put Stripe directly into the platform. So you click through, log in through Stripe, and the integration is just like using Stripe. If you have any issues, click the Get Started guide and it'll walk you through each step in the process. But just like Stripe, you can create products, manage subscriptions, generate coupons, all that stuff. So the main place we can create our service is in Active Products. Click Create Product, where we can generate our pricing and usage limits. So we're going to name this product. Let's just go my name, product description, pricing, model, just sort of demos, right? So include tax, no thank you. And then we go to pricing models, where we've got 3 basic models that we can choose from. Subscription, which you should be familiar with, usage-based, so they're charged for what they actually use, and a one-time setup fee where you can hand it off. So we're going to go a subscription, let's say $500 a month. And then we can also set usage limits, but we're going to hold off on that for now. Click in this here. And then we click create and we're done. This is our product. So from here, we can assign this to clients by going over to subscriptions, click add subscription to Steve Jobs, this agent. We select our subscription model starting today, create subscription. Lovely. So once that's assigned, billing runs every single month automatically. Overages are charged automatically, and we don't have to pull in any analytics from anywhere else. It's just done in-house, which is awesome. As you can see, if we move over to the invoices tab, it's already created a draft invoice for that client. No more messing around in Stripe. It's all done. So that's a whole system end to end. And with all that in mind, I think there are 2 things that stand out that make ChatDash exceptional for agency owners. First being the old way was, let's say you have 20 active clients. That's 20 retail accounts, 20 Make.com accounts, 20 Airtable views, 20 monthly recurring billing. It's a lot. This is all one platform and a lot less context switching, which brings me to my next point, not just speed of onboarding, but speed in terms of how fast you can get out a demo to somebody. All of this consolidation means we're not messing around with this giant spaghetti monster in N8N. We have way more time to be getting out and doing the things that actually move the needle for growing our business. Your effort and your focus moves away from the integrations and the tools and moves towards the client relationships that only you can build. The agencies that scale past 20, 30, 50 clients are the ones that figured this out early, and ChatDash gives you the keys to the kingdom. So you got to try it for yourself. There's already more than 600 agencies using ChatDash every day, and they've processed over $1 million through their billing service. Click the link in the description for a free 7-day trial, no credit card required, and sub for more videos just like this.